Video number 9, tips to help with PTSD, suicide, and depression. This video today, I'm gonna give a shout out to a buddy of mine, Jamie Wells, old buddy from 114th Infantry Battalion. He was a first sergeant, wearing the hat today, Golden Dragons. Excellent battalion that under 25th Infantry Division out at Hawaii. And down in the description of this video, I'll give you some contact information for a group called Defenders of Freedom. It's an organization and a group that does coaching, mentorship activities to allow veterans to get together to help them deal with PTSD and suicide and things like that. Today's video should be short and sweet. I'm going to focus on finding growth in the face of adversity. Finding growth in everything you do in everyday life. And there's two people you can take an example of where they used a trial, adversity, or some roadblock to get stronger. And I talked about in one of my videos, Viktor Frankl, a very successful psychologist who was in, he was a prisoner in Auschwitz, in several other of some of the worst Nazi concentration camps, where he endured all kinds of harsh treatment in those camps. And unlike many of those Holocaust survivors who, you know, become alcoholics, were depressed, the depression and alcoholism either led to suicide or cardiovascular issues, he did not allow that to define him. And he used those trials to grow and became an extremely successful psychologist who helped multiple people deal with their issues. He found growth opportunities in the face of adversity. The other person is David Boies. He is a very successful trial lawyer, and he's dyslexic. And so, as he discovered his dyslexia, and he discovered his desire and had a purpose and a reason to become a lawyer, he didn't allow the dyslexia to stop him and prevent him from achieving his goals of becoming a lawyer. Instead, he found a way to overcome that issue and developed listening skills, memorization skills, techniques to receive information and process it and organize it within his head to be able to serve as a successful lawyer without having to read. It takes him, he said it takes him almost a couple months to read, or maybe he said it's like a year to read a book, because it's so hard for him to get through it. And you know, a lawyer, their whole life is about reading. Their whole life is understanding and receiving information through reading. So he was able to find a way to still become a successful lawyer, and he developed skills through listening and organizing information. And that, because of that, he could be there in a courtroom. He wouldn't have to be reading stuff, referring to stuff. He developed a unique talent to be able to quickly, be able to state the information he needed in his job. And had he not been faced with dyslexia, had he not encountered this trial in his life, he would not have developed this talent that he now has, which makes him so successful. So one of the big principles and learning points we can get from this: when you face trial and adversity, not only is there growth opportunity, but there's an opportunity to become something greater that you would not have had the opportunity to become had you not been faced with this trial. So knowing that principle there gives you more resiliency, confidence, self-reliance, and a vision to overcome trials when you see what the benefit of them are. So when you encounter any type of trial in your life, now when I'm talking about trials, let's talk about any adversity. When I talk about a trial or adversity, think about your happy meter. It can go left or right. Anytime that happy meter dips anything to the left, you are uncomfortable, you're emotionally uncomfortable. That is a trial that you now have to deal with. Anytime, whether it's dipping so far in the red, it's a terrible trial, or slightly into the yellow, past the green, the first thought that needs to come to your mind, and think of the cognitive behavioral therapy in the first video, number 1, about how to question and analyze those initial thoughts. As you face that first trial, do not get all sad and think, why me? Why is this happening to me? Why does God let this happen to me? Why am I always being punished? Do not say that. Don't focus on the bad part. Think about, okay, yeah, why me? Why? More of how me? How am I going to grow now? This situation that has faced me, how can I grow and get stronger and be further developed to achieve whatever your ultimate goal is because of this situation? Do not waste your energies and focus on how bad the situation is. Change your focus and motivation to focus on ways you can grow because of this situation. Not only will you discover the way you're going to grow, but your mind is going to get off the situation, which is the intent and purpose for cognitive behavioral therapy. And it will relieve the stress because you're not focused on that situation, but you will discover the ways to deal with the problem and find that growth. And that's what, like Viktor Frankl did, and that's what Boys did as a successful lawyer. Not, this is terrible that this is happening to me, I just feel so bad about it, but how am I going to grow? It's like can you think of, especially if you guys work out, and especially if you take pre-workout, you take your pre-workout, you walk into the gym, and you see those weights, and your mouth, it's almost like your mouth is watering. You're so excited. I want to grab these weights, and I can't wait to work out. You guys that work out, you know what I'm talking about. That's how you should look at a trial or adversity or any difficulty. You're looking at it, and you're like, that adversity, that's a weight. I am going to grab that weight, and I'm excited because it's gonna suck, it's gonna burn. Man, I hate doing this workout, but I know the benefits are gonna be good. You grab onto that trial, and you're like, I'm pumped because I'm gonna grab this, and I can't wait because I'm gonna get strong. Somehow I'm gonna get strong. And if you're religious and you think of the Apostle Paul in Corinthians, and he talks a lot about weakness and trials, and how weakness, he's like, I glorify in infirmities. I'm thankful for these trials, because when I am weak, I become strong. He knows that through the trials and weakness, he is going to be more successful and stronger. And that is what you should do as you face every trial. Anything that happens to you, you get a bad grade, your car gets crashed, your part breaks down. How am I going to grow? I've grown a lot from my vehicles breaking down. I have a lot of knowledge on mechanical repair because I can't afford to go, or I don't want to spend money on mechanics, and so I spend time researching it. And now, through research and trial, I've learned how to fix stuff, and I've grown, and other people have grown because of that, because someone else's car will break down, and I can go help them fix their car, which then that service releases the dopamines and makes me feel a lot better, and I get excited. Some people see a broken part and they get sad. I get excited. That might mean buy a new part and learn a new skill. So I challenge you, everyone today, anyone that's watching this right now, you're gonna run into a trial. Something's gonna bug you. Somebody's gonna cut you off while you're driving. Something's gonna make you mad. Someone's gonna yell at you. That is a trial, and you are going to decide, am I gonna grow from this? Am I going to love the person and become more a disciple of Christ and grow that way? There's all kinds of ways you can grow from trial. Whether it's an emotional growth, a physical growth, an intellectual growth, all types of growths can happen. And you need to choose for yourself. Only you can choose to allow that growth to happen. And that's what you need to do with these trials. Have a good day. I'll see you on the next video.